Hey everyone, this is James from SuppFinder.com. I want to do things a little bit differently today. I want to talk to you about some books that I've read and how they've influenced how I think about health and wellness. And I'm going to introduce the books first, give you a little bit of an overview about what they're about, and then go into how each of these books connects in my own thinking. So, the first book is called The Healing Revolution, 8 Essentials to Awaken Abundant Life Naturally by Dr. Frank King. Now, Frank King and I recently met. He owns a homeopathic drug manufacturing company here in Asheville called King Bio. And he's really passionate about bringing forward this idea of the healing revolution and encouraging people to take control, to take ownership of their own health. And in writing books like this, he gives us some tools, some exercises that we can do, whether it's self-massage or breath work or other things that can help us get in touch with being healthy and well. And I think these books are great. They're very much how-to books. They're very practical, but they need to be considered in the overall context, which I'll get into a little bit later. The second book I really like is this book, Well-Being, The 5 Essential Elements. Now, this is a book that was done by 2 really well-known authors, as well as the Gallup organization, which has done a lot of really incredible surveys and created a lot of really interesting tools in their time. But this book specifically went to about 90 different countries and surveyed many, many people about the things that brought joy and happiness and wellness and well-being into their lives. And from all of that data, they did a lot of data crunching to try and figure out what are the main determinants. What are those major building blocks or those pillars that have to be in place to create an overall sense of health and well-being? And on the back of the book, they identify 5 key areas that need, or not that need, but that are the major contributors to our overall health and well-being. They're career, social, financial, physical, and community. They're also somewhat in order of importance, meaning that our career well-being, as compared to those other areas, has the single greatest effect on our overall sense of health and well-being. So, any of you who have really been in a bad spot with your job or really had a bad relationship with your boss, you understand, you know that when things aren't good at work, it bleeds over into every other area of your life. If you work long hours, you don't sleep enough, you don't rest, you don't exercise, that grinds away on your body. If you're stressed out all the time because you don't get along with your coworkers or there's job cuts coming, it creates emotional stress, it creates difficulty sleeping. All of that cortisol starts to eat up our body. So we see that at our jobs, if things aren't good, then it's very difficult to make the rest of our life good. I mean, I think it's rare that you'll find someone who's got just a terrible experience going on at work, but they feel like their overall health and well-being is just fine, just peachy. I think you'll find that those two things are very correlated. Which brings us to the third book, which is one of my favorites. It's called The Advantage by Patrick Lencioni, who's written a lot of books for business leaders, and it's called Why Organizational Health Trumps Everything Else in Business. So in this book, there's a lot of great ideas, one of which is distinguishing a smart company from a healthy company. So a smart company would be a company that's got great people hired and they're very competent in sales and marketing, operations, customer service, finance, all of those functional areas. But a healthy company is a company that's got high levels of engagement, where people enjoy coming to work, where they feel like they're better as a result of working in this company. Communication's good. All of the rewards are aligned with where the company needs to go, and there's not a whole lot of politics or bureaucracy to deal with. And he argues that smart companies fail all the time because they're not healthy. But it's rare that you have a healthy company that fails. Healthy companies are usually resilient and they're usually smart. So in this book, there is lots of practical how-tos for any manager, any business leader to go about creating a healthy organization. So when we consider all of these together, we see that if you're a manager or a leader, the way that you run your business is going to directly impact the overall health and well-being of the people that work in your company. And I think that this is something that's really interesting. You know, I've suffered at previous jobs being unhappy, being stressed, and having that really grind away at me physically. I've had digestive issues, I've had sleeping issues, I've had anxiety issues, as a result of a lot of the stress coming from my work environment. So I know this very intimately. And I think as business leaders, especially if we're committed to our own health and wellness and other people's health and wellness, we need to see that the way we run our business can directly impact how healthy and well people are. And not even that, but also the health and wellness of the people in their family and their friends who have to deal with them and hear about what's going on at work all the time. So books like this, The Healing Revolution, I think are great. They give us a lot of practical how-to things about how to improve our physical and mental and emotional health. But I think that they're the smaller things in our life, and that this isn't going to do a whole lot of work unless this is in place. So this is just a call to anyone who's a business leader and cares about other people's health. Get the business side right. By getting that business right, you're going to do so much more for people's overall wellness than you will by dealing with small employee perks, trying to get them discounts on supplements, setting up a juice bar, doing some sort of a CSA. All of those things are good, but at the end of the day, if your organization isn't healthy, then the people that work in it aren't going to be healthy either.